When I was young, I was taken advantage of. Nobody came to my rescue when I needed it the most. I voiced it to many people, and it was like everybody turned a deaf ear. The people I thought would come to my rescue, that would stand up for me, fight for me, even take vengeance for me, did not. At the age of 25, I was pacing back and forth across the floor. I couldn't sleep at nighttime. I slept in the daytime while my children was at school. Because I felt that I needed to watch them to make sure this didn't happen to them. By the time I was 28 years old, or 27, 28, I got to the place where I needed to find some form of relief, mental relief. So I went back to what I knew, and that was the church. I went to this particular church because it was a full gospel church. When I walked in, I went straight to the altar and I stayed on the altar. When service started, I still was on the altar. They was trying to get me off the altar. When service was over, I was still on the altar because nobody understood the torment that was going on in me and the rage that I had within me. And I had to find some relief. By the time I got home, I was solid. My mouth was closed for 5 days. I couldn't smoke a cigarette, and I did smoke. And if I didn't mention it, I used to pace back and forth across the floor and I would smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. So for 5 days, God shut my mouth. All I could do was just pray, but I could not pray out loud. I could drink water, but I couldn't eat food. The next time I went back to church, my spirit was much lighter. And over the years, I've been able to talk about the things that was done to me as a child. Children don't have a voice. That's why they ask for parents to come to their rescue. A lot of people don't want to listen to what a child say because they feel like, oh, children are liars. But this is what I want to ask you. Are you that desperate for a man or a woman that you would allow somebody to take advantage of your child? Because that says a lot about you, that you don't feel like that you can get somebody else. Or maybe it happened to you as a child and you feel like this is what's supposed to happen, but let's keep the cycle rolling. Instead of ending that cycle, breaking that generational curse. Make sure it stopped. And it stopped with you. I recently got some news. I was in a very peaceful place. Someone told me that they wanted to talk to me, but I had no idea what they was wanting to talk to me about. And it was about the same thing that I went through. Upon hearing what happened to a young child, I automatically went into a rage. It wasn't a flashback, it was a rage. Because children don't have a voice. They can't talk for themselves. They can't defend themselves. This is why I felt like it's very important that you take children and put them in martial arts. Allow them to learn some form of self-defense so they can at least do something to let you know that they were there. To have some form of proof where they hurt this person that attacked them. We need women to be women. And we need the real love of God to come back into your heart for your children, opposed to allowing your children to be sex trafficked. Allowing your best friend, your boyfriend, your ex-boyfriend, your mama, your daddy to have sex with your children, or even you. The book of Deuteronomy speaks about incest, but you're still doing it. Not everybody, but there are people that are still doing this. You think it's okay to have sex with your stepmama? No. But they got porn out here that is enticing people to want to cross that line and find out what it's like. And if you don't watch that kind of stuff, these people won't have no choice but to take it down. See, in some countries, they do that. They feel like the wife has to be submissive. And if she have a son that's 11 or 13 years old that want to have sex with her, she can't turn him down. She have to lay there and let him have sex with her. That's just how submissive these women are in certain countries. But we're in the United States of America. And it ain't supposed to be like that. Because when you get to the place where you allow all kind of manner of stuff to come in, and I'm going to call that an abomination, then it start messing with your blessings. It messes with your land. It messes with the vegetation that grows. The economy. Your money. Jobs and health. This was the day that I wanted to come to the rescue of a child that's 14 years old. She deserves to have a chance to live a life without having to have confusion in her mind or having some form of a fear of intimacy when she do decide that she wants to be with somebody, share her life with someone. Not having any mental illness, because that's what it was for me. It was a form of mental illness. At 11 years old, I started smoking cigarettes. I still played all sports and everything. I was still good in school. But the person that did what they did to me didn't just stop there. They waited until I got about 17 or 18 years old. And they came back and they wanted to talk down on me. Tell me that I ain't shit. All kind of stuff. See, this is when you know somebody really trying to break your child down. Because they got a whole nother agenda. But I clicked on his ass. And I told him in public setting exactly why he was doing what he was doing. And I let everybody know that he wanted to have sex with me. So he had to try to find a way to tear me down so I would give in, and I'm not. It took 7 years for me to find my voice. And I've been holding on to it ever since. Y'all need to pay more attention to your children. Listen to what they say. You need to question why all of a sudden a man wants to gravitate towards you and be a part of your family if you got a lot of boys. Or a girl. It doesn't matter if he's Caucasian or copper skin. Doesn't matter. I have never heard anything like this come from an Asian descendant. But we have people that's mimicking other races, doing stuff that they did way back in the 1800s and before then. If it was put in the Bible, this stuff was happening way back in the Old Testament. Because people didn't know no better. But when you know better, you do better, right? This is the calmest I can do this video, because I really wanted to say a bunch of stuff. But I thank God that he calmed me down. Because no child should ever have to be at the mercy of a grown-up that's doing all manner of things to them and threatening them, or trying to find a way to make sure that they stay at home while everybody else goes somewhere else and they miss out on the fun. That's a form of breaking a child down, breaking their spirit, causing them to feel like that they are hopeless and they have to take whatever you give them, making them shut up and lose their voice. If you are somebody that's going through this, or somebody that has actually went through this, maybe you know somebody that is going through this, reach out to the 1-800 hotlines, and you can be anonymous. And if you don't want to be anonymous, you don't have to be. You still have a voice. You can report this. Doesn't matter how long it's been. These people need to be put in a place where they can't harm another person. A lot of people don't know that there is a law in Texas that protects children like that. And I might not be politically correct about how I'm about to say this, but if I remember the first time, your first offense, you get probation. Your second offense, I think you go to jail. And I think the third offense, they castrate you. If I'm not mistaken, this law went in effect back in the early 80s. We need to make sure beyond a shadow of a doubt that when we do report a person, it's the truth. Not because we want that person and we don't want nobody else to have them. Not out of jealousy and spite or being evil. But let it be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You have a voice. So I'm asking you to use it. May the real love of God sweep over this nation and into the hearts of all men and women. Because we need men to be protectors of their family. We need women also to be protectors of their family. Stepping in as the man if he's no longer there, in his absence.